Try to stay in the yellow.
Okie dokes, how are we doing, everybody at home? Do we have any viewers yet?
Nope.
Nope, okay. Well, hello everyone. Are we starting 5 minutes early?
Well, we can, or we can.
Let's just stare at the video for at the camera for 5 minutes.
I can't believe you're making me hold this. We'll just look at James.
Okay. Yeah. Can't blink either.
No blinking.
Okay. All right. Hello everyone. So, thank you for everyone watching at home. Thank you guys for last week's views and for watching the bout and everything. I just put a new poll out on the group. Please make sure you vote for which coaches you would like to see compete against each other and how you guys would like to do it. Can we do like an old school like Viking, Irish? Like you have to throw stones as far as you can.
Yeah, like the cave or toss.
Yeah, dude.
Who's the cave? Zach.
Yeah.
Zach did. How far can you throw Zach?
So yeah, guys, just please vote. And yeah, so this week we're doing arm bars. We're going to go over 2 basic arm bars today, and how to do it at home.
Yeah.
With some stuff.
Yeah. So today we're gonna go over the armbar from guard, full guard, basic, and basic armbar from mount. Both are easy to practice with dummy at home or with a partner if you have it, but you can also practice the movements on your own. So we'll demonstrate the technique first, and then while we're doing that, I want you to try to visualize how you can do it if you're on your own, how you could do it on your own, and then we'll try to give some tips on how to do that as well, and see if they mesh with you, and then you can see if they mesh with yours. And that way you can see, hey, am I thinking the right way? Yeah, cool. So we'll start there first with basic armbar and get moving.
Good. Okay. God, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm so tired for not doing anything. It's ridiculous. Okay, guys. So we're gonna start basic arm bar from full guard, and then we're gonna Mike's gonna show the mounted one. Okay. So I like to do my arm bars just a little different than the traditional closed guard. I like to move from closed guard to high guard first. So very simple. I'm gonna take a 2-on-1 grip in the gi. Guys, ignore my my burn, by the way. It's just a burn. I just want to point that out so you didn't think it was like. Yeah, I'm going to take a 2-on-1 grip right here. I'm just going to move it over. Okay? Once I get here, I'm just going to throw my legs up as high as I can. Just like my triangles, guys. My knee is blocking his shoulder. You can't see his shoulder right now. If I can see his shoulder, he can just push up and I don't have my high guard. So I'm just going to bring it across. You can either come here or here. For this particular one, I don't like to do this as much because I just need a quick pop and over. I don't need a lot of control. I just need to get it over enough for me to be here. When I'm here, guys, I'm raising my hips up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my knees. The whole time I'm controlling this wrist, I'm going to switch my knees. This one's going to go down. This one's going to go up. That's it. So I'm crunching myself to the side and moving his body away from me as well. If he's trying to stack me, I'm just gonna like really big stack. I'm just gonna move myself to the side, push against his head, come here, and hips up.
Now let's talk about just the detail here, because when we've showed this in class, just something I see especially with kids that they get wrong. Everybody still wants to do the basic that we've always taught before, which is where we take this nice cross S grip and we want to turn, right? And a lot of times when Coach James and I teach, so we we go like essentially like an arm drag. Like we're gonna pull it all the way across, and we're like moving the elbow as far over as possible. So for this one, all we're doing is making sure that my elbow clears the hip. That's all it is. So if my elbow is here, he can't lift the leg, right? So go ahead and lift your leg. He can't get it over my shoulder. If my elbow's in the middle of his thigh, he can't get it in. But if my elbow just clears to the inside of the thigh, that's it. So it's not necessarily like he's moving the hand, you know, even though he's getting a good pocket grip or a double pocket grip, it's that he's forcing my elbow over.
It just opens up his lane.
Right. Yeah. It's just one of those like little technical points that makes all the difference in the world between, hey, I'm really getting the high guard and getting it securely versus I'm almost getting it because it's like halfway there and then you're kind of like trying to force it and everything. Like, next technical point then, as he's moving it, his legs are going at the same time. So we talk about like when you put somebody in the triangle guard and stuff like that, James likes to use the euphemism of striking like a snake, okay? So you want to go fast when you're here, okay? It's all one movement. He's pushing it in and he's moving his legs at the same time, right? It's the expectation, what we talked about. It's, I'm gonna do this, okay? So when I move the elbow over, now my next movement is all ready to bring my legs up. Because what's gonna happen? If he doesn't, if he just moves my arm over, my natural reaction is to push it back out. So he's gotta expect that I'm gonna do that. So to prevent that, as he moves my elbow in, then he's gonna block my elbow because he knows that's the next movement, right?
And with this arm, I don't care if it comes in and out. If it comes out, fine. It's fine. It's okay. I just care about this one. So,
Keep going.
So, are you here? No, you're okay. Here, I'm here, I push. Now, if you stack, because this is a lot of people will stack. I have options I can do. See how he's grabbing here? If he's grabbing here, I can't attack this arm anymore. But I have other options we can do. We're gonna go over these later on in the week. Okay? But the big thing, when I'm coming here and here, if he's not holding and he stands up, so he's not holding and he stands up, don't let go of it. I can still finish right from here. Okay, and we have other things that we can do. Like I said, we're gonna go over this week as well. So one more time. Three quick steps. Move to high guard, get my angle, throw my leg over to finish. So, move to high guard, I'm pushing, lifting. Move to high guard, 1. Get my angle, 2. Frame if you need to. Hook the head, 3. Very, very simple.
So show that how you would do it without a partner.
So that's gonna be a tricky one. So the thing is with that one, because I need something here to keep my hips open. We can do, if we don't have a partner, we can do it the other armbar. So
yep.
Come back. So I'm here, I push over, foot on the hip, grab, turn, come back. One more time. So instead of moving to high guard, I just move over, I grab, foot on the hip, still get my angle, I still hook my head. So it's a little different. But the thing is, because I need something to keep my hips up in order to practice the high guard, I'm not going to be able to do it this one as easy.
I think it's just be, kind of like practicing the movement. So
Yeah.
if I'm here, so I imagine I'm in their guard, right? So I've got their hand. All I'm going to do is move the elbow over. So as I move the elbow over, I hike the hips up. So now I've got this. Now I'm going to turn here. Okay, now I'm going to push their head through and clamp over the top. So it's more about doing those movements helps reinforce the concepts. And to take it slow, like when you're doing it without a partner, I mean, I've got nothing to get resistance against, to push off of, or anything like that. Just close your eyes, and just use your imagination a bit. Okay, so I'm in the guard. Okay, their hands are probably on my hips. I'm gonna take one, move it over, great. and I'm up, okay? Okay, so now I've got my knee on top of their shoulder. I've got control of the elbow inside. Wonderful. So what's the next step here? Now I need to turn. Turn, good. Now I'm gonna frame, and I'm gonna pull my leg over the top. Or frame, get a little more angle. Leg over the top, and extend. So my legs come down, and my hips come up.
Show the knee.
So now, same thing. If I'm attacking the arm, pulling it all the way across. So I've got my guard here. Again, I'm gonna reach across. So I like to go the hand here. I like to make a C, and I cup over the top. So now I'm arm dragging. 1, and hug. Okay, so arm drag and hug. So we can even get more technical. We're gonna break it down as we arm drag. Break it down. Break it down, break it down, hug. Now I'm controlling the arm on this side, so my arm is going to stay hooked. So I'm just going to grab my belt here to signify the arm staying hooked. Okay, so from here, now I need to catch my angle. So our arm comes over the head, so you can go like this. So if I'm hugging, elbow over, I'm going to push, foot on the hip. So I'm going to put it on the floor, turn, over the top, slide. So if you can't see, what I'm doing is this. So as I hooked, I'm framing, foot on the hip, turn, over, and again, up. And realistically, like, again, it's just if you ingrain in the concepts with this. I know it's hard to practice like, these types of movements without a partner necessarily, but if you like basic exercises like this hip extension. Okay, this is my armbar finish, right? Finish, 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 right? This glute extension is great for so much of what you're going to do in jiu-jitsu, whether it's taking a wrestling shot, finishing the armbar, exploding up. All that's in your glutes, and that's what's going to help. And then, so again, if we come through here, just like what I did, okay. So I've got it here, I'm just gonna use my eyes closed. I'm gonna imagine like James isn't there, right? Okay, so I've got this, I'm just feeling with my imagination. I pull it over, okay, now I need to pull it over, break it down. Breaking it down, great. Over the top, turn. Okay, perfect, right? If you can see it in your head, without a partner, you should be able to close your eyes and do it with a partner, and it's going to work out the same way, because now you're just focusing on, I visualized it so many times, I felt it in my mind, now I get the physical feeling without sight as well, and it's going to push you through. That's why I think like blindfold training is really good. I know we don't do it here, we haven't really done it yet. I think it'd be something cool to implement at some time, you know, and we've talked about doing that before, and you know, you'll probably see some of these unique training methods when we come back. So.
Oh yeah. There's so many games I want to play.
Yeah.
Let's move to mount.
Okay.
I'll show the sword show.
Yes. Okay. So once again, all right. So we're gonna do a basic armbar for mount again. Once again, when you're sliding with a partner, go into mount in a good way. Don't do this. I know it seems easy to do that, but it's lazy. Practice good habits. You know, if you need to, every time, start in with sort of like a knee on belly. So I got a knee next to him. I got a knee on, going to knee on belly. And slide over the top. Okay. So most times when you get into mount, guys, you're going to be in more of a low mount or mid mount position, which means my butt is over his hips or his stomach. A lot of times we want to get ourselves into a high mount position for our mounted armbar. Do you have to? I'd say no, but a lot of people will say yes. Okay, so one good way is to set it up with a cross choke or X choke. Okay, so if you're practicing somebody with the gi, I'm going to open up the gi, slide my hand in, and I'm going to start to act like I'm going for a choke. And when I say act like it, I'm going for a choke. And what's he want to do? He wants to stop my choke, so he's going to start to push off. And so we're going to slide up. And this is how I'm getting into high mount here. I'm forcing myself into it. Can I work myself up to high mount another way? Absolutely. We can go from the standard here. I'm gonna break his hands. I'm gonna try to push an arm down and just slide myself up. Or maybe I just come underneath his elbows, walk it up, and slide, okay? However, we're getting there. The concept is this. I'm gonna force his arm across, right? When I force his arm across, we're gonna block the shoulder, whatever arm we're attacking, with our knee, okay? So whether I come from this side here and I'm working it on a choke and he went to block me and now I'm going up as high as I can. So my leg comes up behind his shoulder. I'm even coming up as high to the back of his head here. And I'm using my leg here as kind of like my base and drape on this side. James likes to call it pillow and blanket. I don't have a better euphemism that I use for myself, so we'll call it pillow and blanket, okay? So from here, I've still got my hand in his neck. I can take it out and start to control, but what we're gonna do is here, we're gonna push it across as I come up, and now I'm gonna drop my stomach on top of it a little bit, okay? I wanna put my weight down because for him to pull his arm out now, he has to fight my entire body. He has to really powerfully strip out the opposite way, and it's gonna be very difficult. So from here, now that I'm up so high, it's gonna make it easy for me to extend my leg straight and curl it. Now I'm sitting on him still, okay? You can't see it on this side, but I'm not sitting on my foot. I'm up. You should see my posture is over the top of him and I'm sitting on him, okay? Now from here it makes it really easy, okay? I like to switch my arms in this case. This is personal preference. I always like to have when I'm arm barring, I like to have my thumb going in. And so I will switch. I grab my knee or my hip on this side, and then I'll come to this leg here. You can post on the floor, however you want to keep balance, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lean towards his leg, right? We got pillow, blanket, now he's gonna become the bed. So I'm leaning on him like I'm going into bed. It makes it very easy for me to bring my leg over the top. If I just try to stay here and bring my leg over, it's very difficult. This might be more, hey, he thinks he's gonna roll out, so my leg instinctually comes over the top and I can finish the arm bar here, okay? However, let's just say he stays flat. He's trying to bring his butt out this way instead because he thinks he's going to be able to rake his elbow out underneath my groin, yep, by getting me to drop. So I want to be heavy so that when he does that, this way, he can't push me off. I just come over the head and I scoop into the head, bring my heel into the head. Now my knees are already pinching, okay? So if I fall, you can see the arm's already straight just because of my knees. Over the top, scoop. Now what I'm gonna do, instead of falling, I don't like it, honestly, when we say fall. I think we need to be more clear. I'm gonna sit, and then I'm gonna slide back. Here. I'm not even raising my hips off the ground yet, but it's already putting a lot of strain on his elbow. And again, I'm not doing this. Slide. Oh, I'm sorry, the burn?
Yep.
Sorry. I'm sliding. Okay, so I block, leg straight, and I curl. And I'm sitting on him. Lean, over the top. Now watch, I'm going to sit, and as I sit, then I'm just gonna extend back. But as I do it, I'm sliding. This keeps everything so tight. And then when I get here, if I need to, I can raise my hips at the same time. And I'm doing it very slowly and very little. But when you drop on that sucker, okay, when you're, I'm here, and then when I'm getting ready to drop, so I switch, sit. That's the movement. You want to send your elbow to the ceiling. And if you slide, you're going to put so much pressure and so much, what's the right word, like tightness, taut. You're making the elbow very taut. You're stretching out that rubber band, taking all of the, putting so much tension through it, you're going to get the tap, period. Even if they're hyper flexible in their elbow, unless they can legit take their hand and bend it all the way around backwards, it's not going to happen for them. So,
All right. So for that one, guys, if you don't have a dummy and you don't have a partner at home, it's very simple. Use a pillow or a long towel like I'm using right now. So with the drill, you're just gonna do the same thing. You're gonna use your hand, still practice the motion of pulling the arms across. But the important thing is your positioning of the hips. So, especially with our kids.
yeah.
I always say it, especially with our kids. Your kids, new white belts, big common problem, can I actually use it real quick, is they don't get high enough. And when Mike was saying earlier is you don't have to get high enough to get it. You don't, but your hips have to be in the right spot. Okay, so practicing a good high mount will always have your hips in the right spot. If I'm here and here, or actually I'll go here. My knee's only up to his shoulder. When I turn, and I step over, not even if you push it, look. I'm here, look, his elbow's already out. Because my hips weren't high enough. So that's the big thing that we're going to practice on our towel or pillow or grappling dummy or person at home. My knee, I say pillow because he's literally sitting his head, or my knee is literally under his head, or next to his head in this case. So I'm here. So when I sit, look, I got perfect elbow. Everything's perfect. So when I'm practicing at home, I want you to imagine the top of your pillow or towel is the person's head, or shoulders, excuse me. So when I'm here, my knees are at his shoulders right now, his head's right above it. So I want to bring my knee all the way over. Then all I'm going to do is I'm turning, slide out, sit to S mount. Now when I turn, look, when I pull, my leg should be covering the very top of the towel. If your leg is like this and you can see the towel, it's not high enough. And your arm bar is gonna be loose, okay? So make sure, bring it across, bring my hand high, my knees all the way over, about half my shin is on the top. My cervical, the S mount, bring it out, boom. Now look, you can't see it. I'm slightly at an angle, but my whole leg is covering the top of it. So this is the important part. When I fall, then I can scoot and finish my arm bar and hip up at the end as well. But that is the important part of this drill, is making sure you're covering the top of your pillow or towel. So one more time, bring it across, up, all the way over. I sit it out, I turn, scoop, hips up. I'm gonna check myself. You see the towel? No, so it's good. Again, you can see it, you're not up high enough. You need to be covering the whole thing. Now you don't have to be like this. You have to be like this, just on top of it. So yeah, that's how I practice it.
So while we're on the topic of angle, real quick, let's talk about that. So a lot of folks, and again, I'm gonna say our kids, and it extends to more than our kids. Okay, so anybody who's new to jiu-jitsu, you know, kids who are even a few years in, maybe you're even a blue belt. There's this concept in your head for whatever reason, and you know, when we show things, we teach it. It's by the book a lot. So when we teach it, a lot of times when Coach James is following to his armbar, he is perfectly perpendicular. Okay? Now, does he need to be perfectly perpendicular every single time you finish the armbar? The answer is no. There's a ton of different angles you can finish the armbar from. So just as he was talking about, like maybe he's a little bit more down towards the legs, right? This used to actually kind of be what the preferred way was, because this way you could hook with this arm on this side and grab the leg.
Was it here?
Yep.
Yeah.
You could go there, and some people would even grab this leg. But he could be up this way. right? Maybe I'm trying to hitchhike or escape. Right there, he's at a different angle. So don't get flustered when you're trying to finish. So these are the finishing concepts with the angle. The most important part is that you have the elbow above the hips, your knees are pinched, and you scoop the head.
The thing is, like, finishing almost any submission is because the thing is, like, once you get at a high level,
Yeah.
like whenever I go in a competition, I get put in and people put me in so many submissions, or I put other people and people put me in so many submissions. It's like, but nobody ever finishes it until, like, there's only one finish.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's more getting the proper angles, and like you just said, everything else is perfect, because without those,
Yeah.
people just
Yeah.
escape.
This is why it is position before submission. If you don't have the concepts for the submission, it's never going to happen. Me wrapping my arm around your neck does not mean I'm going to get a rear naked choke or a guillotine. Me grabbing your arm and putting my legs over you does not mean I'm getting a arm bar. You putting your legs around my neck does not mean you're getting a triangle choke. It's all the other concepts that you have to hit for the finishing points that allow you to finish that triangle or guillotine or the arm bar. So when you're going through like your self-study right now, try to focus on that. Okay, write it down in your journal. If you were one of the people who was doing a BJJ journal or diary, these are the key points. You know, for an arm bar, elbow above the hips, knees pinching, scoop the head. You can do all that. When you hit that position, you're going to finish the arm bar 9 times out of 10. Okay. So yeah. Exercises and homework for kids.
Armors.
Armors. Yeah.
Simple. Do 10 thrusting drills instead of 20 per day. 10 thrusting drills instead of 20 per day, and 10 arm bars from guard, and 5 on each side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's pretty light. It's
Yeah.
pretty light. So
If you want to add anything to it, I think you can add some cross choke like type sit-ups and stuff, just because we want to do like this stuff. So you could do some cross choke sit-ups. You could add in some hip raises or some glute extensions. These are so dynamic lower ab glute extensions. Feet on the floor glute extensions as well. So all I'm doing is squeezing my butt cheeks and raising my hips to the floor. If you want to know if you're doing this right, literally put your finger into the side of your butt. As you raise, you should feel it contract and get a divot. If it's hard, you're doing it correct. If it's really soft and jello-y, you're not doing it correct. Basically, what you're going to feel when you're not doing it right is that your hamstrings are going to get tired instead of your butt. Okay? So if you're doing, let's say, body weight, so let's say I do 10 sets of 10, and man, my hamstrings start to really burn. It's because I'm not putting the workload into my butt. Squeeze your butt as you come up and force your hips up. Okay? Let your hamstrings be loose. If you feel, I'm jiggling my hamstring underneath here. You can't see it, but my hamstring is pretty loose. My butt is really tight. You get like that divot or dimple in your butt when you do this correctly. I think if you add those 3, if you're an adult or maybe if you're a kid who wants to challenge yourself a little bit more, it would be really great for you. And it helps you so much with so many other things too. So, all right, cool. Any questions about anything? No? All right, well, we really appreciate you if you tuned in today. If you're watching it later, we appreciate you as well. Wednesday, we will be starting the videos just a little bit earlier at 4:30. And so try to set that for your schedule if you can help it. We're going to be covering arm bars again tomorrow. We're going to add to what we've done today, so there'll be a little bit more positional work to it. And then Wednesday and Thursday we'll go to positionals. And then Coach James has set up already a poll, I believe, for Thursday. So if you'd like to see, ex-coach, James and Fabio this week instead of James and Richard again, or me
Or
and
how
Zach.
just not James? How just not
Or,
James?
make sure you vote. Let us know what style you want to see. If you just want to see a jiu-jitsu match, we can do a jiu-jitsu match versus an MMA thing. They just did MMA because they thought maybe, hey, they'd probably like that more last week.
No, I did MMA because that was the only shot I had. Beating Richard. The only shot.
The videos from last week should all be up this evening or at latest tomorrow morning if they're not up on the YouTube page yet. The video from James and Richard's match last week will stay in the Facebook group. That will not be on the YouTube page, okay? That'll only be for the lessons there on the YouTube page. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. Share it in the comments. Subscribe to the YouTube page, CU Jiu-Jitsu, and
Tweet us at
we have a Twitter. We have a Twitter at CU Jiu-Jitsu as well. I'm really bad at tweeting.
Tweeting? Is it tweeting or twittering?
Tweeting.
Tweet?
Yeah, I want to
Why do
say
they call it tweet?
I want to say an adult joke, but I'm not going.
Tweet.
So, but yeah.
Tell me after.
Follow us on Instagram too. We have all these social media outlets. I'm trying to get better at using every single one during this time if I can help it. But yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you.